In the digital age, WhatsApp has become the go-to messaging app for billions of users worldwide. Its popularity stems not just from its user-friendly interface, but also from its promise of security through end-to-end encryption. This encryption is touted as an impenetrable shield, protecting your messages from prying eyes. However, the reality is far more complex and, frankly, a bit unsettling. While WhatsApp's encryption is indeed robust, it's not the foolproof protection many users believe it to be. Make sure to stick around till the end to understand why we need to delve into the intricacies of how this encryption works and, more importantly, where it falls short. WhatsApp's end-to-end encryption is based on the Signal protocol, a highly regarded system in the cybersecurity world. When you send a message, it's immediately scrambled into an unreadable code on your device. This encrypted message then travels through WhatsApp servers, but here's the crucial part. These servers can decipher the content. It's as if the message is locked in an unbreakable box, and only the intended recipient has the key to open it. This process effectively protects your messages while they are in transit, safeguarding them from potential eavesdroppers or even WhatsApp itself. It's an impressive system that has rightfully earned praise from security experts worldwide. However, the chink in WhatsApp's armor lies not in its transmission of messages, but in how these messages are stored once they reach their destination. When a message arrives on the recipient's device, it needs to be decrypted so it can be read. This decrypted message is then stored in a local database on the device. While this database is itself encrypted, the key to unlock it is also stored on the same device. It's akin to hiding the key to your safe under your doormat. If someone gains access to your phone, they potentially have everything they need to unlock all your messages. This is where digital forensics experts come into play. These skilled professionals, often working for law enforcement agencies or private firms, have developed sophisticated techniques to access and read supposedly secure WhatsApp messages. The process begins with gaining physical access to the device. This could be through legal means, such as a court order in a criminal investigation, or through more nefarious methods in cases of corporate espionage or personal privacy invasions. Once they have the device in hand, forensics experts use specialized tools to extract WhatsApp's local database. This database is a treasure trove of information, containing not just your current messages, but often deleted ones as well. The extraction process itself is a delicate operation. On Android devices, WhatsApp data is typically stored in the device's internal memory, specifically in this directory, data/com.whatsapp. The main databases of interest are messagestores.db, which contains the messages, and wa.db, which holds contact information. Accessing these files often requires root access to the device or the creation of a full memory dump. For iOS devices, the process can be somewhat simpler. Most WhatsApp data is included in iTunes backups, with the key database being chatstorage.sqlite. Interestingly, iOS devices often don't require jailbreaking to access this data, making them potentially more vulnerable to forensic analysis. Once the database is extracted, the next step is decryption. Remember the decryption key stored on the device? Forensic tools are designed to locate and utilize this key, effectively unlocking the extracted database. With the database decrypted, experts can now read all your messages, view shared media, and even recover chats you thought were long gone. It's a process that lays bare your entire WhatsApp history, revealing not just the content of your messages, but patterns in your communication, your network of contacts, and potentially sensitive information you never intended to share. But messages are just the tip of the iceberg. Digital forensics can reveal a wealth of information about your WhatsApp activity. Your entire contact list can be extracted, providing investigators with a comprehensive map of your social and professional networks. Media files, including photos, videos, and documents you have sent or received, can be recovered and analyzed. This can be particularly concerning if you have shared sensitive or personal content. Call logs are also accessible, revealing patterns in your communication habits. Even your status updates, both those you have posted and the ones you have viewed from your contacts, can be retrieved. Perhaps most alarmingly, content you thought you had deleted can often be recovered. The digital footprint we leave is far more permanent than many of us realize. The implications of this level of access are profound and far-reaching. On a personal level, it means that our most private conversations, our unguarded moments, and our sensitive information are potentially accessible to those with the right tools and access. In the context of law enforcement, it provides a powerful tool for investigations, potentially uncovering crucial evidence on criminal cases. However, it also raises significant questions about privacy rights and the extent to which our personal communications should be protected. The legal and ethical implications of these forensic techniques are complex and often contentious. Where do we draw the line between individual privacy and the needs of law enforcement? In what circumstances is it acceptable to access someone's private communications without their knowledge or consent? These questions become even more complicated in the context of international law and cross-border investigations. Furthermore, how do these forensic techniques align with data protection laws like the European Union's General Data Protection Regulation or California's Consumer Privacy Acts? These regulations place strict requirements on how personal data can be collected and used, potentially conflicting with forensic practices. Given these vulnerabilities, what can users do to protect their WhatsApp communications? While no method is foolproof, there are several steps you can take to enhance your security. First and foremost, use strong device passwords. This is your first line of defense against physical access to your phone. Enable two-factor authentication on your WhatsApp account, adding an extra layer of security. Regularly delete sensitive chats, although be aware that this isn't a guarantee against recovery. Be cautious with backups, especially cloud backups, as these can be another point of vulnerability. For particularly sensitive conversations, consider using WhatsApp's disappearing messages feature, which automatically deletes messages after a set period. However, it's important to remember that the most secure messages is the one you never sent. Always be mindful of what you're sharing, even in supposedly secure chats. For the highest level of security, you might consider using apps specifically designed for secure communication, such as Signal, which has a stronger focus on privacy and leaves less data on the device. As we look to the future, the landscape of messaging security continues to evolve. Companies like WhatsApp are constantly working to improve their encryption and data storage methods. We may see developments in improved local encryption, making it harder to access stored messages even with physical access to the device. There is also an exploration into decentralized storage methods, which could reduce the vulnerability of having all messages stored on a single device. As quantum computing threatens to break current encryption methods, new quantum-resistant algorithms are being developed to stay ahead of the curve. The world of digital forensics and encrypted messaging is in a constant state of flux, with security experts and forensic specialists engaged in an ongoing cat-and-mouse game. As users, we are caught in the middle, balancing our desire for convenient communication with our need for privacy and security. The reality is that in the digital age, true privacy is increasingly hard to come by. Every message we send and every photo we share leaves a digital footprint that can potentially be traced. This doesn't mean we should abandon digital communication or live in a constant fear of surveillance. Rather, it's a call for awareness and informed decision-making. Understanding the capabilities of digital forensics and the potential vulnerabilities in our communication tools empowers us to make smarter choices about what we share and how we protect our digital lives. It also underscores the importance of ongoing public disclosure about privacy rights, data protection, and the balance between security and personal freedom in the digital age. As we navigate this complex digital landscape, it's crucial to stay informed about the tools we use and the data we share. The convenience of apps like WhatsApp comes with trade-offs, and it's up to each of us to decide where we draw the line between convenience and privacy. Remember, in the world of digital communication, knowledge isn't just power, it's protection. While WhatsApp's end-to-end encryption provides strong protection against interception of your messages in transit, it's not an impenetrable shield. The vulnerability lies not in the transmission of messages, but in how they are stored on your device. Digital forensic experts with the right tools and access can potentially read your WhatsApp messages, view your shared media, and even recover deleted chats. This reality serves as a stark reminder that in the digital age, we must be vigilant about our online privacy. But this knowledge shouldn't paralyze us with fear. Instead, it should empower us to make informed decisions about our digital communications. Use strong passwords, be mindful of what you send, and remember that the most secure message is the one you never send. Stay informed about the latest developments in digital security, and don't be afraid to question and demand transparency from the tech companies we entrust with our data. Do you think the benefits of end-to-end encryption outweigh the potential risks of local device vulnerabilities? Why or why not? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.